The King has decided that Prince Andrew should be evicted from his home Royal Lodge in Windsor. By the way, he's not going to be out on the streets. And he's taking away his £1 million salary. But I want to ask you in this video how sure we are that Prince Andrew is as guilty as we say he is, given the role of Bill and Hillary Clinton in what took place with Jeffrey Epstein. Hello everyone, this is Andre Walker. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please do subscribe and hit the bell notification icon. It's the best way to absolutely guarantee you get all of my videos as soon as they are released. Prince Andrew is an arrogant, obnoxious moron. And there is no doubt that his behaviour is unbecoming, to use his own words. Hanging out with a sex offender and doing all the things he did, Miles Andy. But I actually think there's a story behind this which is much more interesting. And when I say much more interesting, I say that because do I care that a member of the royal family is stupid? Look, there's been that much inbreeding in the royal family. Most of them are pretty idiotic. Do I care that one person has committed potentially a sex offence? Yes, I do, but it is one person on one occasion. Do I really care about the wider issue? Yes, I care about the wider issue. And I want to tell you what I think the wider issue is. When you look at Jeffrey Epstein, this is a man who goes from maths teacher to billionaire within 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Now, to be fair, somebody who sets up a hedge fund and is very good at it would do that, and it's not a particularly unusual thing. But the question is this: how does he get access to the money to invest in the hedge fund? Well, let me tell you, you do that by meeting very rich and very powerful people. And the way he met very rich and very powerful people was by having his island, having his yachts, having his planes, and having an idiot like Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew is somebody who got into trouble with the British government when he was a trade envoy because he insisted on the finest hotels, the best this, the best that, and they complained that he got better than the Prime Minister. Well, he might think as a royal duke he has the right to that, but I don't think the British government in reality perceives the second child of a monarch to be more important than the Prime Minister themselves. So this is a selfish and fairly narcissistic person. But I think in a sense he's been duped. And I think we've been duped. Because when you look at the access to real money and real power, look no further than Bill and Hillary Clinton. They are people who have behaved badly right from the outset, and they were incredibly close to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, let me tell you something. Hillary talks all the time about her support for women and feminism until you accuse her husband of a sexual offence, and that's happened on plenty of occasions, at which point she becomes venomous. Now, when I look at the allegations against Prince Andrew, let's talk about, first of all, what he definitely did. Well, first of all, what he definitely did was hung around with a sex offender, unacceptable. Next, what he did was, after the man was convicted, went to meet him in his house and then walked round Central Park with him. Then there was this question about Ghislaine Maxwell and this Victoria Guthrie. I don't know exactly what took place, although, by the way, good on the Epstein victims for continually suing him, having remembered new allegations every time they run out of money. Good on them. But I think the bigger issue is this. This is a man who I think was there to shine up the reputation of Jeffrey Epstein. And I think that he was somebody who, in his behaviour, actually committed the biggest sin of them all, which is, as a representative of the United Kingdom, failing to answer charges in the United States of America, legitimate charges. But why do you think he did that? Well, let me say this to you. Every single person, almost bar none, who has made an allegation of wrongdoing against the Clintons has ended up dead. This is Vladimir Putin territory. Now, I will tell you for a fact that none of the people that have accused the Clintons of wrongdoing who have died prematurely have ever been listed as murder or anything like that. But it is remarkable how many people in the United States of America that have worked with the Clintons end up dead after accusing them of wrongdoing. And the Clinton Foundation, when she was Secretary of State, and for the Brits, that's Foreign Secretary of the United States of America, the Clinton Foundation took tens of millions from dodgy Arabic regimes as she was doing the job of representing the United States of America around the world. I think that the Clinton Foundation was set up in a way that if you actually describe how it operates, then you will be accused of being a conspiracy theorist, and that's done deliberately. You know, in 1 year they raised maybe 10, 15, 20 million, of which 500,000 went to actual charities. And so these are incredibly powerful and incredibly corrupt people. And so I ask you this question: is there an alternative story here where Prince Andrew, the arrogant moron, is actually being blackmailed by a very powerful cabal of business people in the United States of America, led by the Clintons? Because we do know that whilst Prince Andrew stayed a couple of times with Epstein, we also know that Bill Clinton went on what was called Lolita Express, which was Jeffrey Epstein's plane to his own private island. When Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide, he joined a long line of people who had very close connections with the Clintons who had committed suicide. And I just wonder whether the reason that Prince Andrew settled with Victoria Guthrie in the United Kingdom rather than go and see the FBI in the United States of America, despite the fact that he believed he was innocent, and we can talk all day about he settled without admitting liability. Oh, come on. In the court of public opinion, everybody believes he's guilty as sin. And even when his mother died, he was in the cortege and people shouted horrible abuse to him. I just wonder whether this man is more of a victim than perhaps we think he is. Now, the king has thrown him out of his house, or is at least attempting to, and taken £1 million a year away from him. And that is to defend the monarchy. But I ask you this question right now. Do we believe that this arrogant, narcissistic, money-obsessed moron was as corrupt as we are saying? Or do we believe that the British monarchy is cutting him loose because they are afraid of the corruption, the danger, the intrigue, the international power of the Clintons? The people who time and time again are behind wrongdoing in the United States of America. A woman who moved to New York, and then the system in New York was badly corrupted. A person in Hillary who managed to win a primary against Bernie Sanders, despite the fact that he blatantly won it himself. And also a woman who forced investigations into Donald Trump when Donald Trump had done absolutely nothing wrong in his relationship with Russia, and yet Podesta had done exactly what Hillary accused Trump of doing, but with Ukraine. I think Prince Andrew is a nightmare, and I think that he's an idiot, and I think that he is money obsessed and stupid, and I think that he is probably a bit of a shagger. But I will tell you this, I think that the reason he is not willing to deal with the United States of America is a terror, and that terror is Hillary Clinton. Something to think about. Till next time, goodbye.